How's it? Today's Wednesday, March 10th, and it's been a long day. I lifted this morning at 6 a.m. and I started working today. I started at 2 p.m. today and I ended at like 9:30 or so. Currently it's 12 technically on Thursday, but whatever. Um, so this workout was an extension or a continuation of last week's workout. So last week I had a really bad time with my power cleans, so I ended up just doing like whatever weight I could last week for the minimum amount of reps. And so today I tried my best to sort of figure out what I need to do to get better. As far as my upper back, the pain that I was feeling in my upper back from last week, it was a lot better today, but it was still a little bit there. And I think a lot of it had to do with doing my power jerk warm ups, my one wave up to a top set from the blocks because I wasn't forced to catch the bar. So this one actually, I failed the first attempt here because the left side hits the block and I wasn't ready for that. So that threw me really far off. So I was like, oh, okay, let me just regroup and do it again. And I thought basically if I just dip lower or shallower dip, then it would be fine. And it was, for the most part, it was, right? So after that, I go to 110, which is my top set of one. The same thing happens, but I end up pushing through, so I didn't want to reattempt it. So the left side hits the block. You can see that. It's definitely not as bad as the one at 100, but it still happened. Yeah, so last week I did 105, today I did 110, and then similar thing for the power clean, just three doubles at 110. That was my goal. Last week I ended up doing three doubles at 105 with a high amount of pain. Today I had very little amount of pain, but I actually wasn't able to execute on a single double, let alone three doubles. So I do first power clean on the first set, and then the second rep is going to be a full clean, and that happened for the first two sets, and the third set ended up going a full clean as the first rep, and I was just really frustrated. I wasn't very happy with how everything was going. I messaged Steve after this, and then he said that the lifts actually look really good, and I do agree with him. Here's my first set at 110. I think it does look really good, but I just woke up in the morning, 5 a.m. I woke up, and last night I trained. I mean, I didn't train super late last night, late last night, but it wasn't even. It was maybe what, 13 hours, maybe 12 hours of time in between my heavy squats and then these power cleans. But I just wasn't feeling super strong, super snappy. So yeah, he pointed that out, and I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. That even though it does look good, the lifts themselves look good, my ability to execute at a high level is probably a little bit diminished because of the amount of time that I was able to rest. Which is just normally about half the amount of time that I normally rest. So here's the first rep there, and I was debating on whether or not I should go again, but I just gave up. So after that, I moved into my clean deadlifts for my triples. These actually felt a lot better than last week. There was no pain whatsoever through my upper back, so that's a really big positive sign for me. Last week I went 110, 120, 130 for three threes at 130, and today I went 115, 125, 135. So just 5 kilos up on each set. I think something that I'm going to address moving forward is my T-spine mobility, my thoracic spine mobility. I did mention it last week that I was going to try and figure out some way to stretch it and get it stronger, but I didn't actually end up getting to do that, so I will try to do that tomorrow. We'll see. I think it does make a big difference because if I'm able to maintain sort of posture there without getting pain, then I am instantly a better lifter. And I think that that's probably the biggest thing that's plaguing me now. So after that, I did my seal rows, but I actually cut out all the other accessories because I did remember that I was working today and that I didn't want to overtax my body, like overwork things unnecessarily. So I took out the overhead holds, which is typically walking overhead holds, and then my box jumps, which I don't think that it would have added too much, but I was having kind of a bad day, and I didn't want to overwork myself, but yeah. So those are the things that I did take out, and yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Shoots!